It's podcast time again. Gang, what's up, gang? Welcome back. Welcome to another live stream slash podcast slash live stream podcast. So it's Wednesday. It's not podcast day. But we're doing a heckin' podcast because I want to do a podcast. Simple as that. I have a few things written down that I want to talk about today because today, I'm not grinding on shorts because I got way ahead like a week ago. I made so many shorts like a week ago. It was awesome. Made I don't even know. I think I made 14 in a matter of 2 days. And I'm going on vacation soon, which is going to mean more beautiful scenery and things to capture for potential short form content. But so I'm not doing that today before work. I work at 5, so it's basically in 2 hours time. But I wanted to hop on here because I have so many things to talk about in my brain, and I have them written down in my little book. Which, fun fact about the book, this is the cheaper ones from Walmart. And the covers are extremely flimsy. So I took some packing tape and I laminated it, the cover. So not only is it tougher, but it's all weather notebook. Money, bonus podcast, let's go! Yep. Podcast updates, old videos, monetization, and more. All of the things that I have written down. Sit back, relax. First things first. I wanted to say a quick thank you because I was looking at the podcast analytics, which is something I rarely do, given how much I look at analytics. The podcast analytics is something that I tend to overlook, which is unfortunate because they're really, really cool. But also at the same time, there's a particular reason the watch hours are going up. And I'm excited because this is something I took for granted. And I knew that starting the podcast would be a good thing to do for watch time purposes, but I didn't realize how many watch hours I was actually getting from the podcast as a collective whole. So yeah, here we go. 43 and a half hours of watch time, and that's accumulated from basically middle of March 20th ish. I think March 20th was my first one. Yeah, that's 43 and a half hours of just sitting down, having fun, chatting with you guys. It's easy money, and it's super fun. So I see no downfalls. So thank you for tuning in and checking it out, and at the very least staying on the stream and not dipping, just staying here, even if there's no chats going on. It's cool, and I appreciate it. So thank you. I was watching the real time views pop up, and there's one that just popped up. I'm like, wait a minute, I just started streaming. Obviously, there's going to be a view. Anyway. No, so that's something, and there's also, this is episode 14 of the podcast. We're live right now. Super sick, because that's something that Gary Vee talks an awful lot about, is that not everybody can do a podcast. Not everybody can have a podcast. Everybody should try, but not everybody can. And he said what you should do is record 10 to 20 episodes of a podcast before you really know, and before you really think if it's a yes or a no. I think it's an absolute yes, because podcasting, let me go back up to where I'm big. Podcasting is always something I've really wanted to do, but for some reason, if it's not on YouTube, I have a much harder time doing it because I have to go to different places. Whenever I was doing it on Spotify, I don't know if you guys have noticed, probably not, because Spotify sucks as far as notifications go. But Spotify doesn't, I stopped posting this podcast on Spotify, the audio file, because I don't really vibe with it. I don't really vibe with it. So I've been just leaving it exclusively on YouTube because it's the extra work that it takes to put that on Spotify. It's not much. Granted, it's not much extra work, but it's an extra half an hour of my time that I could dedicate to making a short, or to making a couple of thumbnails for the podcast, or remaking a thumbnail for a past video. And that's a perfect segue to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is remaking thumbnails. I did this for the most recent video I made, which is the best vlog ever, ? It's actually, I changed the title to I made the best vlog ever. And you notice the thumbnail is different than it was when it first came out. So let me dig up and find, let me dig up the thing. I feel like, Chloe says, I feel like if the Neistat dudes and Gary Vee didn't do their thing, you won't be doing your thing. They're obviously a big inspiration. They are a phenomenally huge inspiration, but I can't say they're why I do it. Definitely a huge inspiration. Like they're awesome. But obviously I would do it no matter what. Like if they weren't there, I'd still do it. But I have a couple things I want to show you guys. Let me get it pulled up here as soon as I can find them. What day? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Let me see if I can just click on through. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. So this is the initial thumbnail I made for Sunday's video. This is the first thumbnail. I have 4 iterations. And they've all been featured on the video at some point. So this video, as a live YouTube video, has had 4 different thumbnails. This is the first one, and then shoot, come on now, cooperate. Thank you. This is the second one I made. This is the third one I made, which is slightly different than the first one. My face is a little bit bigger, the background is blurred, and I've swapped it sides. See how it's kind of like, it's a little bit different. Just something else, because sometimes if you change it and it catches the attention differently, it's whatever. It's a big thing. But then I switched it, and this was the one I left on there for a while. And I went to this one, and then I went back to this one. And then I came in here the other day, and I was like, I just can't. It's just not doing what I want it to do. So I switched it to this. So what I did was I took a screenshot of the view graph of the Louis Tomlinson vlog. The concert vlog, I took a screenshot of the views. Zoomed it in real big. Increased the saturation, sharpness, that whole bit. And then what I did was I zoomed in right here at the very end of the line, and I drew in Photoshop. I took the pen tool, and I dropped it to this line, and then I drew that arrow on the end, because the arrow is just visually appealing to a degree, which is cool. So I did that, and then I put the things in, because I've seen in the past on some of my videos, I've done videos where I have the background being that arrow going up. That is an attractive thing to a viewer that I've noticed, and not just my videos, but other videos in the past. But I've seen that, and I've seen that do well, so I've said, screw it. It's the best video. That's about the best video I've ever made. So that line is relevant. It's not just something that works. It's actually relevant to what I'm talking about. So I put that in there, and sure enough, let's get to this. So this video, we'll go to the analytics. This video started out, it's at 83 views right now. But I didn't change the thumbnail officially until about, honestly, I think it was, let me zoom this up a little bit. There's this, okay, so here's the line. I think right here is about where I changed it permanently to the new one. It was either here, it was either right here or right here. I think it was right here because there was that spike, right? And then we go back to the reach. There is a spike in impressions here. So 2 days, 19 hours. 2 days. Yeah, so okay, so I changed the thumbnail during this day on the 20th, probably before work, I think. I want to say it was early morning on the 20th. And then it spiked the 21st early in the morning, and it's just been, so that's today, early in the morning. It's just been going up ever since then. So great. Because that's the whole point of that story is to emphasize the importance of the thumbnail, because I can change the thumbnail up a few times and it doesn't actually hit until I get the right thumbnail. And obviously, because what happened is crazy is I got 2,000 impressions in the first couple of days. Or no, I'm sorry. It went steady, but it got up to about 1,200 impressions right here, and then it just sort of slowed way down, and then it picked back up again. Right about here is where it changed pace, because it was about that same pace here, and then it slowed down, and then it went back to that original pace, which is cool. So point in saying that is the video is not dead after upload. And I know I've talked about that before, but the video never, after it's uploaded, it's never dead. And if it doesn't do well in the first 24 hours or whatever, or the first week or whatever it is, you can make slight changes, and I've changed the title too. You can make slight changes to where it does do better. And if YouTube sees, well, you changed this, and then you got a couple more clicks, then they're like, okay, let's show this, let's just push it out a little bit more. And then eventually it does get more clicks, and then you're in much better shape. And also the click-through rate was a 1%. It's up to a 2%, so that's a dub. That's indeed a dub. Another thing with that, I'm very psyched with how that, I'm glad, it sucks because the view duration is not very high, so watch time, but I'm just glad it's a result. It's showing, I made a change in what it was, and then it was a direct, you changed it, it's doing better. That's cool. So that's exciting to me. That is exciting to me. And then let's see here. What else do we have? Okay, that's my newest video, right? That is my newest video. And something I wanted to talk about as well was that if you look here, we go to the videos tab, and I'll actually show you the screen here. You go to the videos tab, and we can zoom it in a little bit. Right here, this is the button. You might remember this. This is the sort by oldest button. So basically, this is like, so you have your latest videos. It's my newest ones are at the top, and then you have your popular videos where the most popular are at the top. It goes by views. But it used to be a thing where you could sort by the oldest, and then for some crazy reason, I'm sure there was a reason, but like the YouTube community is a very strong one, and so they decided to, make a big fuss until YouTube brought it back. So they have re-implemented the sort by oldest option. So if I click on that, all my old videos from first to second to third to fourth, those are my oldest videos from 3, almost 4 years ago. And here they are, in order from beginning to new. So it can go back if you wanted to. If you wanted to, I don't know if I would recommend it, but if you wanted to, you could go back and start from here and just binge from the very beginning, which is a cool thing. Oh, my back, I just snapped it into a million pieces. But it's a cool thing because I know in my personal experience, if I find a creator that I enjoy, I want to see what their first video was, because I'll be like, man, this is a cool video. I wonder what they made a long time ago. I wonder if it's like consistent or if they changed up a little over time, So when it's me viewing on YouTube, I want to just for curiosity's sake. I may not even watch it. More than likely, I probably won't watch it, but just for curiosity's sake, I'll go back to their very first video and it's like, hey, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Cause like, I don't know. Somebody down the line, like once I'm bigger, it's somebody down the line is gonna wonder what my first video was, and they're gonna be like, boom. And I actually made a video. I posted it on Facebook. I didn't actually really make it. I don't think I made it into a short. I should have, but I don't think I did. I did. You know what? I posted it on the second channel. I do believe. I posted it on the second channel, GareTheBear 2. I'm almost positive that's where I posted it. It's my first video ever, but I manifested everything. Yep, that's it right there. I found it. This is it right here. But this is my first video, and it's so cool because I literally, in that video, it was so unintentional. I was just going off of, well, I might be able to do this, and I'll probably get into this a little bit, and may do this or this. But the crazy thing was, I literally, shoot, what was I going to say? Almost everything in that video that I said I might or was going to do, I did. And it worked out for the most part. Like I said, I'm going to be recording a lot of videos in this space. And that space that I was in wound up being the coffee shop, which I record in on a very, very regular basis. Can we watch it? Let's watch it, dude. Let's do it. Let's watch it. Let's give it a look-see. Okay, let's pause that, blow it up a little. Whoa, Taco Bell. Whoa. Okay, I guess you heard that, didn't you? Yeah, desktop. Okay, we're good. Yeah, let's watch it. 36 seconds. Check it out. All right, guys, here we are in the YouTube room studio kind of thing. I might be filming some more videos here. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna be posting some vlogs. I'm gonna try to get into some gaming, maybe some Minecraft, because apparently that's coming back. Whenever NBA 2K20 comes out, I really enjoy basketball, as you guys will find out in future videos. So I'm gonna have some of my friends and myself get together, we'll play some ball, or we're gonna do some sort of challenges. Oreo taste test, Pringle taste test. I really want to grow this channel, and I want to make it good so bad. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah, that was for my 3-year anniversary on YouTube. Joseph and Jessica. No, stop. Too late. It was a 30-second video. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Not to worry, my friend. It's over. Don't worry about you. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. But yeah, no, that's such a fun video. I forgot I made that. I noticed it the other day. I made it, and I was on Facebook just looking around on my page, and I was like, wait a minute. Forgot I made that video. And so I watched it, and I was like, man, that's crazy. But even more, I could probably go back and rewatch that, and I could probably make that video again and update it with new information. But crazy. It's hard to watch that video, though. Let's be honest. At least for me it is, but okay. Got to stick to the list because I'm going to get off track. Okay. Sort by oldest. So cool. I'm so glad that came back. So, I got to finish the process, but I made a short today. And I also made, I think, 3 yesterday. But what I did was I took the video. Which video was it? I think it was the... Was it the best vlog ever that I did? It was my newest video, I think. I used that feature on YouTube where you can cut shorts from your own video. So it has like that direct link to like the full video or whatever. So I used that and I cut shorts from the most recent video. And then I tried to do that with the concert vlog. But I realized it wouldn't let me. Probably because there's copyright music in that song. Which is funny because, well, you know what? Actually, that does kind of make sense now that I'm thinking about it and like talking about it out loud. Because there is copyright music, I can't cut that from that feature and claim that as my own sound. Because that's not my own sound. I don't own that. So that makes sense. That makes sense, actually. I own, like, the parts that I said, but if there's any bit of copyright music in there, they won't allow it. So I went through, and I'll actually show you. I don't want to, because I don't want to get this. Yeah. Anyway. No, but I made a video, a short. Basically, what I did was I went to the editor and I cut out the audio of the intro. So I was like, back in Christmas time, back in December, Chloe and I got tickets to the concert, and I was setting up the story. I used that audio, and then I just cut like every second. It was like a progression through visuals in the video. So that'll probably come out. Let me just take a look here. I'm on Studio right now. I'm trying to look at Studio on my phone, and I'll have it up. I don't know. It'll probably come out June 29th is probably the guesstimation of when it'll drop. No, I do this all the time where I have YouTube Studio literally open on my computer, yet I have it on my phone and I'm like looking at one thing over here, and then I pull up my phone to look at a different thing. It's kind of weird, but also it kind of makes sense, at least in my brain, because I'll be looking at a certain thing and I don't want to get rid of that certain thing or like open up a new tab to cover up that certain thing. So I just open up a different extension of that and then look at a different, I don't know. It's a little funky. Also, going back to the podcast, I'm super, super excited about the 7-day podcast challenge. I keep air quoting challenge because it's not going to be like it's hard. It's not going to be a hard thing to do. It could be a hard thing. I severely doubt it, but it could very well be a hard thing. But let me see here. But anyway, no, it could be a hard thing, but I don't think it will be. And I have some ideas. I talked about this last week, or I guess Sunday or whatever. I have a list of ideas written down wherever it is. I literally don't know where it's at. I'll have to find it. It's in the notebook here somewhere. Oh, here we go. I have a couple more days I need to fill with ideas. But I think that's not going to be hard, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be hard at all. Because I have a taste test. And this is, if you're listening to the podcast right now, you're getting some insider information. And if you want more insider information, hit up the Patreon. But that's another idea, actually. I could do a Patreon something. Oh, I do want to let you guys know, too, for the Patreon, I'm going to start working on that'll be the March bloopers that is going to come out in July. The bloopers from March of 23 are going to come out in the middle of July. So when I get back from vacation, first or second week of June or July, I'm going to start editing the March bloopers for Patreon. So join the Patreon because we're doing some bloopers over there and it's awesome. I'm going to change it up a little bit for the Patreon. I'm going to do probably not going to do the early releases anymore. I'm probably just going to do just a little bit more exclusive videos. Like maybe I'm going to do the blooper and then maybe something else. I don't know. That's still a very, very, very early on in the developmental stages. But yes, bloops. Chloe says yes, bloops. The bloops are fun. I enjoy the bloops. I love them. They're so much fun to make. It's fun. It's one of those things that those are the type of videos to make. Like I love making those, but there's a mental block because there's so much footage at start. Like whenever I did the February bloopers, there was like 2 hours of footage, or was it 4? There was a lot of footage. There's a ton of footage, but the video only ended up being 3 minutes long. Like it's such a big hurdle for me to look at because there's so much footage that I just have to sift through and kind of pick out from. But if I just stay focused for like an hour or two, easier said than done. I just get it done. It's so easy because it's just you're skipping past all of the good stuff and you're just cutting out the silly stuff, and it's fun and it's easy and it makes me laugh during the edit. So like And I could put funny music behind it and like adjust comedic timing and stuff like that, which is always a fun task. And it honestly is an exercise in my editing skills because it allows me to do something that's much lower stakes. Like the video isn't, on YouTube, trying to get a lot of views, trying to contribute to monetization, that whole bit. It's just to make the 6 people in the Patreon laugh, which is awesome. And I love the Patreon for that. I love the community we've got over there. I love the community we have here too, but it's a different vibe. But no, it's a nice exercise. It's a nice exercise in my editing in that for music and for timing and for pacing of comedic value, all the little stuff in there, it really contributes a lot. And clonely footage is 90% silly. True. The problem is, most of the clonely footage that's silly, I put in the actual video. Like, I've noticed some things, like I'll go back and watch a video or two from the period in which I have bloopers made already, and I realize, oh shoot, I put that in the blooper reel. I thought I cut that out, but I didn't actually cut that out of the final video, so. It is what it is, but it's still funny. But I would pull up one of the bloopers on the stream and watch it, but that's exclusive content, folks. It's exclusive content. Join the Patreon for bloops once a month. Monthly bloopers and some behind the scenes. I've been kind of slacking on the behind the scenes footage, the behind the scenes like pictures and stuff. But I don't know about you. I know Chloe, you're in the chat, so let me know. But I personally feel like it's more worth it if I just put out a video on Patreon instead of like sending the behind the scenes pictures of the edit or whatever. Like, I would probably just be better off just putting out bloopers or potentially something else. Like I want to do like bloopers are the thing. That's going to be the Patreon content. But I want to do something else. I don't know what, but I want to do something else with it at some point. Like, instead of doing the early releases, I'm going to do another type of video. So, if you have any ideas, let me know. Okay, 7-day podcast challenge. Let's get back to that. I want to add a couple more ideas because, quite frankly, I don't have enough. I have 5 days of ideas or topics. And really, let me think here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 written down. 4, really probably 3 that I know I want to do, like for sure. 2 are maybes, 3 are for sures. I didn't watch the early release videos mainly because I always comment on the video and I see it's coming out. Yes, any exclusive video. Okay. So any exclusive video is good. The early releases, I think, my personal opinion, I've taken some inspiration from Van Neistat's Patreon. What else is new? But he does early release videos. But how he does it is he has the video recorded, or he has this video made. He'll post it on Patreon. And then 6 months later, that same video will come out on YouTube. So it's a much larger window between early release and then YouTube release. So like, he posted a video on Patreon like 3 days ago. Great video. I love when he does that. I love when he posts on Patreon. But he posted a video on Patreon like 3 days ago. So in 6 months, that particular video, I think if it's the same schedule that he's been on, that video is going to come out on YouTube. So that's cool. So that is a much, like, it's more worth it to watch the early release if it's way early. But if it's like 12 hours early, who cares, right? That's my assumption, is like, who cares about it if it's 12 hours early? You may as well just go to sleep, wake up, and then it comes out. Like, that's my thought. And my idea was like, well, I could post it a little bit early, and anybody really wants to watch it, they can. I don't think it's actually worth the effort entirely for me to do it that way. I would rather just post it and then share it to Patreon. That way they have a mode of external viewage. But I think it would it's for the Patreon, especially because that's a paid service, I would rather just give them that one extra piece of exclusive content, because the YouTube video, yeah, it comes out early, but in 12 hours, everyone in the whole world is going to be able to see it. So it's not really exclusive. It's just, you get, and like I said, I don't think anybody really watches it early anyway, because it's just whatever. Which is totally fine with me. Like, I'm cool to appreciate, like, the fact that it's not really worth doing it that early. You may as well just not post it on Patreon and then put it out the next day like normal. So I need to think about some potential exclusive ideas. Maybe, I don't know, the more exclusive you can make the Patreon content, the better. I agree, Chloe. The more exclusive you can make the Patreon content, the better. For sure, because it's bang for your buck. You want bang for your buck. When you're buying something, you want to receive value. And that's the same with here too, but like it's easier to visualize it with this. If you're gonna pay $3 a month with a 7-day free trial, you're gonna want to get something that you're not already gonna get from the free product, from the free platform that is YouTube. So I want to make something that's a little bit different. Maybe we can go back and see about an uncut version or a slightly less cut version, an extended cut. That's the one I'm thinking of. Because I've got the vlogs, right? I could just do an extended cut. Like the Louis Tomlinson concert. I did the full uncut concert footage. I put all the footage I got, put it together, and that was it. That was the Patreon video. And that was a pretty cool idea. I don't know if anybody watched it. I know you watched it. You got psyched about it, Chloe. But I don't know if, like, that idea, though. Like, say if I have something, like, I could go back at my old videos and just kind of make an example out of it. So we could potentially do, like, the concert vlog is a perfect example. I have all that concert footage. I have to cut it down or else the video will be an hour long. But I could do uncut versions. I think an extended cut, which is like basically what we're thinking about. We're basically on the same page. An extended cut would be dope. So like I have a 10-minute video. I released a 20-minute version on Patreon. Which is an interesting thing because in the edit, see what I would do is I would have to extended cut. That's the word. Yeah. We got it. We were on the same page. We're good. So an extended cut, see, that would be kind of cool because I could release the Patreon version. I just thought of this. This is great. So when I put it out on YouTube, it would be the sharp, as cut down as possible version. The extended cut is the anti-YouTube retention cut. So like, I'm not editing for retention. I'm editing for just putting all the cool stuff in there. Like, there's a lot of shots that I cut out. I like them, but I know it's like, bro, that's way too long. That's drawn out. They're not gonna stick around. Like, it's gonna be lame. It may look cool, but it's not effective. It's not effective editing. So if Evan Lindy ever pops in here, he always, one of his big things on his channel is like, he doesn't like how YouTube is so, like, it's not creativity based as much as a whole. As a whole, it's not as creativity based. It's more like, how can this video snatch up your attention as long as possible? How can I just quick, bang, 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 instead of just, I can hear the gears moving from here. Yeah, you can. But no, I think that's a cool thing. I think that's an interesting thing. And as a matter of fact, creativity on YouTube. Okay. But no, I think I like that idea. Extended cut. Hold on. Extended cut on Patreon. Slower pace. Less edited vlogs. Okay. But yeah, no. One of his big things is the fact that you have to sort of serve the algorithm, in that you have to sort of play YouTube's game with your titles and your thumbnails especially. You have to play their game, or else if you want to rank in search, you can't just make a video about whatever you want. Like, it has to be, your keywords have to be there. You have to have a thumbnail that relates to the keywords and like serves the title and gives context and all of these things. You have to play that game. And I know Mr. Kiwi understands this fact too. Anybody that does YouTube understands this fact. I also think Small Notebook idea is one of the most genius ideas you've ever had. Dude, for real? It's not my idea. Not at all is my idea. It's I forgot his name. Shit. What is his name? Oh, I forgot his name. But no, it's not my idea, but I love it. I love it. Austin Schrock is his name. Schrock? Yeah, that's the video I stole it from. He had a viral video about the 99-cent notebook replacing his phone in 2023. But anyway, not having to play into YouTube's game is what Evan really wants to do, right? He wants to just be able to title his videos whatever he wants, and then just people watch it. Because the problem is, if you don't make your titles and stuff a certain type of way, it may not get shown to people, which is a problem. which sucks for creative people like myself and him, because it's like, bro, I just want to make this video. I want to call it Day in the Woods, and it needs to be out there. But it don't be working that way. Like, there's a lot of videos that I would just be like, this video, like there was a video I called, I don't remember. There's a lot of videos that I've done. Like, there's certain, the video called How I'm Making Money Doing What I Love. I would just call that I Started a Patreon. But that's a sellout kind of title. Like, people don't like that. People aren't going to click that. Maybe they will. I don't know. But I don't want to call it that because whatever. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is the extended cut would be for the Patreon. It would be the non-retention edited version. My only worry is that you know what I could do? Save extended cut before finish. Okay, so this is my initial roadblock. Oh wow. Anyway, one of my roadblocks with, like, we thought about the extended cut idea, but my initial thought was like, okay, in the edit, how am I gonna get that extended cut out of there? And like my brain just kind of went a little bit. My gears, Chloe, you heard the gears, and then I'm like, boop, got the idea. So how I'm gonna do that is in the edit. The way I edit is like I guess a lot of people edit this way too, so I'm not special by any means, but I'll edit like a rough cut at the beginning, or I'll start it and then like get to the end, and it's sort of a rough cut basically. And then I'll go back through and like add my fun little edits in there, and I'll kind of rewatch it through and do another filtering of this needs to get cut out, it's not effective, this. So the end of that first cut will be the extended cut. And the extended cut, like I'll get to the end. Immediately I'll save it, slap it on Patreon, and then finish the edit, put that version on YouTube. So I'll do the Patreon video first. I'll be able to do that first. That'll be the initial edit. And then once I do my retention edit, my YouTube edit, then I will have spent another hour on editing that. And then I can get that final cut. Like, so the extended cut will probably be, say the extended cut would be 15 minutes. The final cut would be 9 or something like that, you know? It'd be close to 10, whatever. It'd be a couple minutes longer. It wouldn't be like, you know, this 10-minute video is now a 30-minute video. That's not what it's going to be. Doubtful. Unless it is, I have no idea. But more than likely, my thought is just get that extended cut out first. Cut that out first. Save that first. And then I can just immediately jump back into the timeline, finish the edit the rest of the way, save it again for YouTube, and there we go. Perfect, easy money, content. Content. That idea of like cutting out the Patreon from the same edit as the YouTube video makes me think about the podcast and the shorts. Because like there for a while I was cutting shorts from the podcast, which was cool. And I might even cut from this one. I don't know. I might. You never can tell. Just in case I find something that's like super valuable. Potentially it's worth putting on shorts. But anyway, it's so cool being able to be efficient in your content making. Like it's like the idea of making a podcast, cutting it into smaller videos, cutting those smaller videos into shorts, and then boom, you have like a month's worth of content with one podcast. That's some people's content plan. Their sort of map is they have the podcast that they do, they cut it down, and that's the rest of their content. It's a great plan, great blueprint, not my style. Because to me, in like the creative side of me is like, well, that sounds to me like an assembly line. And I don't want to do that. And I've done that before. I've tried that because I feel like that's something, if you see something that is potentially worth trying and that may actually do really well for you, or say if you don't know, it's worth trying because you never know what'll happen until you try it. As simple as that. Chloe says, I swear to God, we need You Never Can Tell tattooed on ourselves. Dude, that would be so funny. That'd be so funny. I mean, because you never, dude, it's facts. It's the most wisdom of all time. Like, it's so very wise. But, just, bro, it's just, you never can tell, bro. It's that easy. But my point is, like, I tried that, cutting from the podcast, and it was cool. But it was a lot of work, and I didn't really feel like the work translated to fulfillment in that particular thing. Whereas, like, if I spend 6 hours on an edit as opposed to, like, 2, and the video clearly is better, I'm like, that was fulfillment. That extra time I put in, fulfillment. That's worth it. Cool. Exhale, a lot of talking, not a lot of breathing. You know how it goes. So, yeah. Podcast. Extended cut. Epic. Good deal. Monetization updates is the other thing I had written down. I did put this in the title. Never mind. But I actually, fun fact, for a live stream, and I think a YouTube title in general, you have 100 characters to use. This title is exactly 100 characters long. Because if you'll notice on some of the older podcasts, I have episode in the title. In the other titles, I have EP. Just because some of the longer titles have EP instead of episode. And then the other ones, let's see, episode 12, episode 11, episode 10. Yep, see this one right here. How I'm Making Money Doing What I Love, GareTheBear Show, episode EP 9, not episode. And some of the other ones have the whole episode, the whole word. Because I have more characters to work with, but for some of the longer titles, I had to use EP, just because, you know. But anyway, the monetization updates. I've talked about this I think I talked about it last episode, actually, last week on Sunday. 4 days ago, whatever the heck it was. But I want to reiterate because I'm excited. And that's part of why I made a podcast today, because I was like, dog, we're so close, dude. It's so close. It's crazy. Okay, we're going to the Earn tab over here. It doesn't have it on my end yet. They said it's coming out today. But I need... See, last updated June 19th. So maybe... Okay. So the eligibility thresholds are updated within 48 hours of activity. So, like, if I have... So, June... Like, what I have right here, what it's showing is from June 19th. So, June 19th of this year to June 19th of last year is where we're at. So, like, this is 2,473 hours from June 19th of this year to June 19th of last year. And then the 2,000 subscribers, obviously, whatever. But I need to see one thing, because they are lowering it. So if you guys don't know, they're lowering the initial monetization threshold to 3,000 hours and then 500 subscribers. So I'm well past 500 subscribers. And I'm almost to 3,000 hours. And it's been steadily going up, actually. I've been kind of surprised. Not like surprised, but also it's like a pleasant surprise. I don't even know. I expected it, but also at the same time, it's like interesting. So they're expanding the partner program to earlier access. The thing is, let me see. I just completely got screwed over. Expansion is rolling out over the next month. Canada, South Korea, Taiwan, UK, and US. One of these countries' reasons. Click this article. Check more change. Okay, if you're not... Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Point is, in the next month, they're rolling these things out. Today is when they started, I believe. But you may not get it until, like, the next month or so. So, this initial early access to the partner program is... You only gain access to fan-funded features. So right here, let me show you. Here's the different benefits here. We have watch page ads and shorts feeds ads. When you hit 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time, you do not get ad revenue. You do not get ad revenue. There is no watch page ads and there are no shorts feed ads, which is perfectly fine. But you do get channel memberships. You do get supers. You do get shopping features. Super chats, super thanks, which is like somebody can tip you in your comment section, which is cool. And then you can put your own merch store on your channel, and you can do memberships and things of that nature. That's all fun. And I was thinking about it because I'm like, well, I'm at 2473. I only need like 427-ish hours to go. With a weekly podcast, it's going to help. And just making better videos in general. But point is, I'm close. So I was thinking about kind of trying to get a head start on the whole thing. What do I do? Like, I have a Patreon already where I do the exclusive content. My thought is, well, do I share the content from Patreon and YouTube memberships? Or do I do different exclusive features for YouTube members? So, like, YouTube memberships, you can do like you have special emotes, special names, like you have little colors and little stuff by your names. I don't know exactly. Exclusive perks. I think there's a whole thing I can read here. Yeah, badges, emojis, perks, multiple price level revenue. You do receive 70% of net revenue, which kind of is low because I think Patreon is like 90-ish. Like it's a lot more. You get more of whatever it is from Patreon than YouTube. But I thought about doing something like that where people on YouTube could directly, because there's the join button, like right there. You can just click on it and then join for like however much a month, whatever. But my thought is, and I've just kind of like skimmed over it in my brain. It's not really something I put a lot of time into, but what do I give to YouTube channel members that's different and exclusive from even the Patreon? Or do I do anything different? And that could just be the channel memberships is just support, potentially. But also, I still want to give out the cool emojis and the badges because that's fun. That's fun. Like who doesn't want a badge or an emoji or whatever the heck, you know? I don't know. That's just a fun little thing I've thought about. The supers is cool because that's like, let me just say this as a general blanket. The lower access to monetization is great. It's great, and I think it's cool that a lot of small creators are grateful for this particular opportunity. And instead of like, oh man, it's still too high, blah, blah, blah. It's cool because if you have a tight-knit group of, 500 or less subscribers, you're not getting guaranteed paid, right? You're not guaranteeing that you get money from being monetized at that smaller threshold. However, what there's potential for is there is potential for tighter knit, smaller, stronger communities. Because if you give that extra value for a paid membership type thing or something of that nature, you have a smaller, you can monetize sooner if you have that really close knit community. Like if you have, you average like 30 views a video, but it's like 30 of the same people that are your ride or dies. Like they will watch everything. They will support you through everything. That is, first of all, super cool, super awesome. That is a thing. But those people would support you. And if they support you via supers, via memberships, via whatever, then you are going to be making a decent chunk of money anyway, without watch ads, without watch page ads or shorts feed ads, which is a great opportunity. So this thing being a thing that exists, this lower monetization threshold, super great. And like I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, well, really, where I'm at, it would be good, but I don't think, and I could be entirely wrong, but I don't think it's as good for me personally as where my channel stands right now, because I'm really I don't know. I'm not under 500 subscribers. Let me just say that. So it's not like I'm uberly far away from the existing threshold. Like I'm just at this, like I see it as a bonus. I think a lot of people around my size do as well. You see that as a bonus, like you're getting closer, so you get this little extra. Like you're close to 4,000 hours and you're close to 1,000 subscribers, but you're not quite there yet. However, you are over the threshold of 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. So you're like, hey, here's a little extra something. If anybody wants to donate to you, that's cool. So they're just making that available for people that are smaller. Super cool, like I said. And it's not a guaranteed thing that you're going to get supers and whatever the heck. But it's a helpful thing. It's a good start. And it's cool. Honestly, the thing I think is the coolest thing, as far as I'm aware, to me, the coolest thing is when you reach the 500 subscribers in 3,000 hours, once you get accepted to the partner program, you have to apply. Once you're accepted, at the time, like say you're at 500 subscribers in 3,000 hours, once you're accepted into the program, and then later on in time, you meet the 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours, you don't have to reapply for the program because you're already in. So you get in to the YPP earlier. Once you cross that initial threshold, that the existing threshold that we already have, you could just turn on the button and you're monetized. You're getting ads. And then Chloe says, past you would have been appreciative of that. That is true. I'm still appreciative of it. But past me would have been like, oh, yeah. I think, you know what? I think past me, given how I did things back then, I think I probably would have been, like, making longer videos. And, like, really grinding for that 3,000 hours. Because the main thing I remember when I first was starting out was, like, I thought that 4,000 hours was, like, way hard. And it is way hard, but that's the point. But I was like mainly focused on getting subscribers. For whatever reason, I just didn't know. And Evan, the man, the myth, the legend, what is up, bud? What's good, man? I was talking about you earlier. I was talking about for my Patreon potentially doing an extended cut. And I was like, well, what I'll do, I'll call this extended cut. I'll call it the anti-YouTube retention cut, because I was talking about how you always hate the having to play the game. The title and the thumbnail and the retention YouTube game, And so, because I was thinking, I have right now on my Patreon, I have the early release videos where my videos come out like a day early, which to me isn't early enough. So I don't feel like I'm giving it as much value by giving it out just like 12 hours earlier. So what my thought was, I would do an extended cut. So I would post the full video on YouTube, and then I would post a slightly less edited down version on Patreon. So like I have a 10-minute video that comes out on YouTube. I would post the 15-minute version of that on Patreon. So you get the not designed for YouTube retention version. What are your thoughts on that? Because I want to hear your thoughts. But I think it's a really cool idea. Chloe and I have been chatting it up about that. Because there's a lot of things in a lot of videos, and you know how this goes, where you cut them out, especially with your content where you do the outside, the pretty views and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of beautiful scenery you get. But I bet you feel like, this is my assumption, you probably feel like you have to cut a lot out because it's so long drawn, and you're like, man, this is going to lose retention. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, I don't know, but that's just my assumption. So that way, if you posted the extended cut, which I'm considering, you just don't have to cut that out. You make exactly what makes like you super satisfied just to see those pretty views, and you don't have to cut it out. But then I would get that, and I would then post it on Patreon, and then go back to the edit, and then cut everything else I needed to cut out for YouTube. So what do you think? An extended cut sounds great. I'm past the point of caring about retention. Watch it or don't, I'm gonna still post it. I respect that. Whenever I post those B-roll segments, views drop. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough because it's something that I hate how it goes. It's something that you're passionate in. It's like making the pretty shots and all the cinematic stuff, and it looks so good. I love watching those. In your videos, I'll just sit there. Whenever it's the B-roll that when your retention drops, I sit there, I'm like, wow. Because it's so pretty. It's like, I appreciate those things. But not everybody does. And it's understandably so. But that's great that you don't care about it. That's great. And really, it's hard to care about it at all anyway, no matter how much you try for it, just because no matter what, somebody's going to click off in the first 10 seconds, and it's not going to matter anyway. So you may as well just make what you want, So that's cool. Let's see, we got a breaking news from the NBA. Celtics, Wizards, Clippers are closing on a trade. There you go. 3-teamer, just like that. Just like that. I love preseason, or postseason. No, not postseason. Off-season, there it is. Appreciate that, bro. Yes, sir. Cinematics and B-roll is what get me into video creation. Dude, it's so nice. I remember early on, I was making a vlog. I have a playlist of vlogs. My mom and I went on a road trip. Evan, you may enjoy these just because they're like super old and super like raw. They're not very great quality, but they're still like, there is a charm to them. They're a little bit older, not nearly as polished as my new videos, but it's a lot of, that was when I learned how to, in my editing, believe it or not, get this, I learned how to cut on beat. So like my B-roll would go, and then I would cut to a new thing as the song was going. You know how it's something we take for granted now, but I was learning that in the process of making these videos. It was awesome. Definitely check them out. Send me links. Bet, dude. I'll send it in the old Discord. But before talking to camera, I just made B-roll only videos. Those are cool. B-roll only videos. I'm seeing a lot of Instagram reels, and I'm seeing your reels too. But your reels, I think if you just consistently make that my life recently .mp4, those are cool. I think those you keep those consistent, and I think what you could do, I don't know if you'd want to do this, because obviously it's entirely up to you, but what I've seen a lot of really pretty cinematic type reels on Instagram specifically that have like a message written on the video itself. It's like, some sort of inspiring quote or something just that's long. It takes them a couple seconds to read so that it loops. But you can post all your pretty cinematics behind it. So that's like a relaxing sort of vibe. And then they have, some lo-fi or some chill type music behind it. Something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Yeah, I'm going to send you links to this playlist because it's a good playlist. It was fun because this whole series, it was 10 episodes. Because I did a daily vlog. This was actually my first taste of daily vlogging. So we did a road trip. We went to 10 different states, 10 different days. Did a video every single day, but what I did was I recorded all of it. I had 10 days worth of vlog stored in my phone. And then after we got back, I edited all of them. And then it was 1 week, it was Monday through Friday episode uploads. And the following week was Monday through Friday uploads. So I did 10 videos in 14 days. So let me see here. How do I'm a noob at YouTube apparently. Oh, good grief. Let me just go here. I'm just going to take a breath anyway. Breath. Okay. Discord. YouTube Masterminds. Also, Evan, I'm excited for for your video about the Discord, because I'm excited to get some more people to chit chat in the old, in the old Discord. Let me see here. Video sharing. Let's talk that. Let's go that one. Paste. All right. There you go. Just sent it. Got to head out though and keep shooting. 4 hours left of my video. We'll talk soon. Yes, sir. I'm excited about it. Looking forward to the longest day of the year video. I close tonight at work. I work 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. So that's how I'm spending my longest day of the year. So that's cool. Ha! That's fun. Yeah. Anyway. Oh my goodness. We've almost been going for an hour. Exciting stuff. I want to go for the full hour because we can. Super psyched. No, but I'm just overall, we are on a high, that's for sure. I'm having a great time doing all of the YouTube things, all of the creation, all of the everything. And I've thought about, so I'm going on vacation with Maddie and her parents this week. And I got permission from Maddie to like bring my camera and record and stuff. I don't want to go crazy because obviously I want to be present and I want to get the experience to the fullest, right? But at the same time, the creative in me is just like, oh, it's going to be so pretty. There's going to be so many good views. You're going to be able to use the GoPro on a roller coaster. It's like, ah! So I want to get some footage of that. So expect like maybe shorts of it. I don't know. But really don't expect anything. But like I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't bring any of the cameras. But then, first of all, she said I could. And also, in my brain, I'm like, I'm gonna regret not having brought any. And I want to document it. Like, I don't want to just sit there and vlog the whole thing and completely be consumed in vlogging it. But at the very same time, I want to just document. I don't want to vlog it. And I don't want to vlog it. I want to document it. I want to get pretty shots. I want to get B-roll. And I want to get time lapses of the beautiful, beautiful view we're gonna have. Like, I want to do those things. That's not something I don't feel like I have to, which is a cool thing. Because a lot of times people will get, and I've done this before, where I'll get like consumed in it, where I'll be like, ooh, we got to get the shot. But I just have a humongous creative urge to document this new experience that I'm going to have. Also, I'm just looking back at Sunday's video. It's doing good, doing well. And the concert vlog is almost at 700 views. We're at 600 and... Well, my phone says 690, and YouTube on my computer says 688, so I'm going to listen to my phone. You know how we do. You know how it goes. I just updated it, and it does say 690, so never mind. First of all, nice. But, no, this is I'm really psyched. A lot of things... 13 seconds in, 69% retention. Nice. No, So I'm gonna pull up the retention graph for the concert vlog. I'm gonna go back real quick. I kind of feel bad in a way, but not really, because like I love all my videos. The concert vlog completely has overshadowed in my mind the most recent video because it's doing so well. Like I'm happy with it. I'm so happy with it. Like, and it's one of those videos that when I was making it, I knew it was gonna do well, and that's a great thing. Is when it happens, it's like it's gonna pop. So, a couple of things I wanted to address. First of all, views are steadily going up. They had a little slowage there. Right through here, there's a little bit of slowage, but it's on the up and up. It's on the up and up again. Lots of watch hours, almost 60 watch hours, which is sick. But one of the main things I wanted to show was, we just hit 11,000 impressions. Cool. Whenever this video first came out, like the first day, first 3 days, it was. I want to see if there's a way. Dude, we had such a good time. It was so awesome. And that was something I made. Literally, the YouTube short that dropped today. Well, let's watch it. So for context, the short that came out today was about projecting your own enthusiasm on your content. So, like, me making content about something I genuinely enjoy and genuinely enjoying that thing within the content, people enjoy that better. So let's watch it. Dear creative people, project your own enthusiasm through your work to your audience. Because there's nothing more entertaining than watching somebody do what they genuinely care about. People instinctively know when there's more care put into something. Dear creative... This is so facts, because the video this video, we cared so much, and I cared so much putting it together, and we had such a genuinely good time. It shows, and even the numbers show it. Like, this is, also it's Louis Tomlinson that's getting searched, but the thing is, people don't just sit around and watch 5 minutes of a whole entire YouTube video for no reason. Like, it was a very good relationship video, viewing experience. You watched it, and I think you felt like you were in it. You felt like you were there with us, and like we were taking them along. Dear creative people needs to be a short series. Oh, Chloe. Let me just show you. Okay, so we've got, let's see here. Okay, June 22nd. Dear creative people. That day I made like 14 YouTube shorts. It is Dear Creative People. That's all it is. That's the entire, it's a series. I have it written down. See, it's in the book. Let me see if I can find it. Stuff versus experience. This. My shorts diagram. Do list. Set up conflict resolution. Conflict. Woo. Here, I found it. The book. Shorts ideas. 6/11/23. Clips from concert vlog. I just did that today. This is one. Dear Creative People series. So yeah, it's a thing. Check it. Dear Creative People. I wrote that on the 11th of June. So that was 10 days ago I wrote that. And I made about 14 of them. Do we share a brain? I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, Dear Creative People is, I think, going to be a series. I think it's got to be. I think it's just destiny. See, what I did, how I made so many that day was I went through all of my sticky notes that I have on my wall, little notes that I've written to myself. See, this is the thing that's cool is a lot of the videos I make, especially the ones that are like more inspirational type, it's more me talking to me. At least it started off that way. Like, a lot of these sticky notes are messages to myself, like a reminder, like, hey, project your own enthusiasm, enjoy what you make, because people connect with that more. Or be your own audience. The right audience will find my videos. Or give people a reason to care. Or what value, or, patience, things take time. I have all of these things written down. This is just content in front of my face. It's all these sticky notes, and it's it's so cool. It's so good. But yeah, I made like 14. I just literally took the camera, spoke the words because I knew it was going to be like a voiceover type style. So I just literally took the camera. I said, blah, 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 blah. You know, I just kind of just off the top of my head, I sort of summarized each sticky note. Because see, if you remember, probably not because I made a bajillion shorts on the channel, but I had a series going where it was called Sticky Notes. I did Sticky Notes where I would read the sticky note and I would talk about the sticky note. And I stopped doing that because I like had to overly edit them and it was crazy. But with this, I've got the CapCut. I've got text on screen, and I've just been putting B-roll over it. Just putting some B-roll, some cinematic B-roll, some from my past videos, some whatever. I've just been chucking B-roll over top, and it's been cool, and it's effective. It's cool, and I have 3 of my recent shorts that I've cut from my newest video. And that's something I feel like is just such an easy tool, and it requires minimal work. Because see, you gotta put the work in, but at the same time, you want to try and do as little work as possible to translate to the most results. So like efficiency, you know. But yeah, lots of shorts. I've got them scheduled out to June 28th, soon to be June 29th. As soon as this podcast is over, I'm gonna do my thing as far as making that Louis short a thing, making it exist. But I was gonna say something before we got on the whole shorts rant. So with the concert vlog, something that I don't see super often, but I'm starting to see with this video that I'm super excited about, is that when the video first came out, the retention was like 440 something minutes per view, average view duration. And it has been consistently going up. So the people that are viewing this video, you know, in this little span of time, a couple views at a time, they're watching enough of the video to get the average to go up out of like 700 views. Now, try and put that in perspective. Here's what we'll do. Okay, so you know how averages work. You know how the averages work in like numbers. You have a lot, so your average 4 minutes 56 seconds of 11 minutes and 17 seconds. So it's like a little under half. So more than likely somebody watched about less than halfway. So the more views you get, it's going to be harder to move that average up because you're getting like, you know, it's always harder to move it up than it is to move it down. And in order to move that number up, that average view duration, to move that up, the views you get continuously on the future, they have to be like much higher than the average in order to get it to move up faster. Because like every day it goes up like a second or 2, which is a lot if you sit there and think about it, if you put it into perspective, because that's almost 700 views and the view duration is going up. If it was going down, all it takes is like 1 or 2, you know, clicks, and then 10 seconds later, get off the video. It only takes a couple of those to bring your average down. Like, it doesn't take much for that. But on the opposite side, you have to watch it like all the way through, like to the extreme, in order to make it go up. Same with it going down. So this recent like from this morning, holy crap! Since 4 a.m. this morning, so the last 12 hours we gained 30 views. That's cool. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense actually. This little bit here, but no. In that last 12-hour period, I would say the average view duration has probably been like 6 to 8 minutes. Would not surprise me, honestly. So I could probably find that somewhere. Let me see here. Okay, average view duration, June 20th, 21st. Oh, that's this morning. 5:25. Okay, so let's go to the 20th. That's 7 minutes, and that's 5.5, basically. There's gotta be a more like accurate look at that, but oh well. I don't know. Either way, point is, not only is the view duration going up, but the click-through rate's going up. Because it started off at like 3 something, and now it's at like almost 5, which is awesome. But either way, that's a whole bunch of stuff. Either way, point is, I'm excited about that video. I'm excited that the newest video is doing better. I'm excited about all the things that I've talked about in this episode. I'm excited that I decided to do this episode. I'm excited to get work. I'm excited to work tonight purely so that I can get it over with. Because I need a break. I got a break. I'm grateful for this break. If I could just make fucking podcasts every day, I would love it. They'd be the best. See, the podcast, I think, one last thing before I go, because I have to stop it at some point. One thing I'm super, super psyched about is when, I'm saying when. I always like to get in the habit of saying when, because I want to put that, it's positive self-talk. I like when I become successful, when I become monetized, when I can make a full living on this channel. When, not if. It's always when, because I know it's going to happen. I'm confident in myself. That's the self-talk. You convince yourself of these things. But anyway, when the channel is bigger, when the viewership is consistently large, when it's doing well, when it's sustaining itself, the podcast I think is going to be a super fun. It is always still fun. It's still fun, but it's going to be a thing that is the smaller group of people that catch the streams and are super dedicated and are super, super excited to like. I love these streams because the interaction with the audience is so awesome. And like I know when you get bigger on YouTube, it becomes harder to interact with your audience, but it's so valuable. And it's important to sustain that, to be able to find a way, whether it be through Patreon or through memberships or through a stream. It's important to try and maintain that relationship of interacting with, your select group of close super fans, if let's say it that way, super fans. So in the future, the podcast I think is going to be a really cool thing. And it's going to be a thing that I have to keep in the schedule because I love it. First of all, I love doing it and bouncing ideas and talking about stuff with all of you guys. And at the same time, it's super awesome. It's going to be great for the future. And I think it's going to be a nice feeder to the channel, to the regular content, because like I've gotten ideas from the stream, from the podcast, that I end up turning into a real video. So it's a whole thing. Woo! But anyway, I'm so glad I did this today. I made the right decision. That was so cool. I'm so glad I did it. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate the love. Everyone who is here today, much, much appreciated. Always a fun time chatting it up with gang. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Do something that makes you happy today. Make yourself smile somehow, some way. Do it. I promise. It'll be awesome. It'll be worth it. But yeah, anyway, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday, June 2nd? July 2nd? Whatever the heck month it is. Yeah, July 2nd. I'll be back here on the podcast. Might be later in the day. I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see what happens. And if I can't, I'll let you guys know for sure. Anyway, bye, gang. Thank you so much for being here. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.